Hello and welcome to the maxing guide for Twisted Leagues by Zeah Ironman. As you can tell, this is my main, and the whole reason I'm using my main instead of my Zeah only Ironman is because I want the staminas. You know, I could use them on my Zeah only Ironman, but I kinda need those for other stuff, so I'm gonna use this for the convenience of actually getting this video out before Twisted Leagues actually gets released. I'm gonna be using my main for it. So speaking of staminas, this guide's also going to go off the concept that you pick the relic detailed in the blog called Endless Endurance. It's an unlimited run perk. You get like 3 relics you can choose from: a ammunition one which saves ammunition, 80% of it, one that's like boosts your prayer experience for bearing bones, and then an endless run. I could go into the whole reason why I highly recommend going into this, but if you want to check the description, I like talk for 20 minutes rambling about the blog like I'm doing right now, and yeah, you can go listen to me talk about it there. It's like towards the end. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go also off the assumption that you start here, and congratulations, welcome to Twisted Leagues, you have now begun and spawned in. And also I'm going off the assumption that you get the same stuff you get from Tutorial Island. So yeah, if you don't get an axe for any chance, you can get one from raids is the quickest thing I can think of. But that's gonna be kind of a pain because you gotta run all the way for there. I'll take you like by this area in the guide, so don't worry about it too much. It's part of the plan. And if you don't have a pickaxe, you can get one. There's a spawn down here. But those are both kind of a pain, so I'm going to also go off the assumption that you do get the stuff from Tutorial Island. The rest of the stuff can be bought in a general store. But yeah, okay, let's get on to the guide. So 2 things I want to quickly mention. First off, if you don't want to hear my lovely voice, then in the description will be a written out, like, very lengthy text thing of step-by-step of what to do. And second off, as far as the guide goes, I'm actually decently into it right now at the time of this recording. I actually went back to come do this. So I had a conversation with someone, and I also kind of looked at the numbers, and it really doesn't add up. Like, you shouldn't be able to max in what's expected to be the length of this tournament, even with the times 3 rate. So that means the relics that you unlock, as shown in that blog, it looks like there's like 15 different relic slots that you can unlock post the 3 that you can choose from after Tutorial Island. And those 15 slots look like they have a huge impact on the skilling progress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of like the experience rates and like roughly how long it's going to take to go from X point to Y point. So like from level 53 to 99, whatever that like really large chunk that I'm talking about in this section, I'm going to give like a general experience rate based upon the times 3 for the Twisted Leagues and roughly based upon my experience. And I'm also going to give roughly about the time. It's not a hard number for the time it will take, so it could take a little more, it could take a little less. It's kind of up to like your skilling method and all that, so I'm going to post those kind of like in the sections that I'm talking about, so you can kind of pick and choose, and later on I'll throw in probably like a supplemental thing of like once all of the relics list is released, I'll then talk about like, hey, you should choose this relic, hey, this is why you should choose this relic, and here's where you should choose this relic over this relic. So probably expect that post this guide, but as far as this guide goes, it should hold up pretty well, just as far as general maxing. And as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to go from point A to B to C to Z. You can go from A to Q to B to whatever. So, alright, on to the guide now. So of all the places this guide could take you to first, we're going to go to a bar. Yes, that's right. We're going to be going to the Hesius bar. Just walk your way to the castle all the way over to here. And the reason why is we're going to start off with some thieving. So there's a ton of men, there's a ton of women over here, and I mean, you'll take a lot of damage in the beginning, but you can come over to the bartender and wine. It costs 1 GP each. There's also cider too, which is a +1 farming boost, and it's extremely cheap, 11 HP for 1 GP. I really hope the restock rate is fast on here for Twisted League, because this will be selling out. It's like best food that you'll be using aside from cakes for forever. So, gonna be doing this, gonna get all the way up to 5 thieving, and then we're gonna head over to the cake stall. So you have two options for cake stalls. You can come over here to the town center, or you can come over to the Kourend Castle Center over here. This is a safer spot. You will be less likely to be attacked by guards, but it's a harder like banking. So I recommend this one. Just be careful because there's guard dogs here, and you can lure them behind this stuff, but they can still aggro and be a pain. So yeah, just come over here, steal cakes, and you'll be going all the way until 25. That sounds terrible, but in reality, that's not that bad because it's times 3 experience. So you'll be heading up all the way to fruit stalls next. So next up, we're going to be starting our first quest of Zeah. So if you come up to where you normally would first arrive on Zeah, you're going to come up to Veos, and you're going to be starting the Client of Kourend quest. And the main thing you're going to be needing on here is you're actually going to need a feather. So start the quest, and then right-click them, go to Land's End, and normally a feather wouldn't be that bad, but after like the rework and that, it actually got to be a pain. So you can buy feathers in bulk, and that is all the way underneath here. You need to start the Queen of Thieves quest, which requires thieving, and I believe you need a stew, and you buy them from fishing shop. You'll end up getting those in bulk, packs of 100. But you can run up here after traveling the Land's End, and there are chickens right up here. And on top of this, because you have the endless run, it's not really that much of a pain to like run all the way over here and grab a feather. So grab a feather, ooh, got 15 of them, not bad. And you'll run back to Veos to start the quest and continue the quest. So the main thing with that is you're just running around to a bunch of general stores. What I recommend is you just run out here, go to Hesidius, go to Shazian, go to Lovkin, however you pronounce that, Arceus, and then come back to Piscarilius, and then come back to Veos, and then he'll send you over to the Dark Altar, then back, and then quest complete. So really isn't that much of a like terrible quest, it's just having to run around, so it'll be worth it in the end because of the favor and what's up next. I do recommend you take the 2 lamps and spend it on crafting. The reason why I recommend crafting is you're going to be wanting to get to 10 crafting as quick as possible, and the reason why is one, you need to get 10 for bowstring, and that'll be for like some really good experience early on before you hit like the runecrafting stuff, and 2, a lot of people are probably going to spend the lamp on stupid stuff, so you'll have to like compete with them for shearing sheep. Yeah, skip that. Get to 9 crafting, and I'll explain how to get to 10 plus crafting right after this. I almost forgot to mention, but for that favor that you end up getting for the Client of Kourend, make sure to spend it on Piscarilius. The reason why is cash is going to be really hard to get early on in a Zeah only Ironman, so you need to like conserve as much as possible. Put that 20% favor in Piscarilius so you can avoid doing the cranes, and you're pretty much ready to just gather fish right afterwards. So you avoid having to put all that money into planks and that for like no experience. So the next thing you're going to be doing is coming down to the plow fields. Yeah, it's one of the worst things ever for like tasks, aside from like Piscarilius favor and sand grubs. So you come down here, and you're going to need a hammer for this, and you're basically just going to push the plow. So you click on it, just kind of AFK until it breaks like that, and when you repair it, you actually get 10 crafting experience, and that's where you're going to be making up the remaining experience from 9 to level 10. So I recommend you go for at least 15% favor for Hesidius for the seal from Verstal's, but I highly recommend you just knock it out and get up to 45%. As I just mentioned, the cash will be really hard to get, so buying compost and saltpeter might not be an option. I guess you could kind of save some cash and go ahead and do it early on, just depends on how much you hate yourself. But if you do this to 15% at least, you'll definitely get enough crafting experience to level 10 and be able to go seal from fruit stalls. So as you can probably guess, more thieving is up next. So you'll just come northeast of the plow field and come up to this house here, which has 2 fruit stalls in it. And you can just run over to the bank here, which is pretty close. It's whenever your inventory gets full of useful stuff, go bank it. And just run between these 2 things for maximum efficiency, and you have unlimited runs, so it's not a big deal. The things to keep are you're going to want pineapples, jengerberries, and also papayas for super combat. You'll want these fruits here for that +4 herblore boosting pie. And actually, you're going to want strange fruit. Now you'd think, oh, it just heals run energy. Well, there's actually another side effect to it. So it will cure poison. Yeah, it actually cures poison. Most people forget about that fact, so you can use that as sort of like a budget anti-poison, and you'll want that for later on when you're running through the lizardmen. So you're going to want to be doing this all the way until at least level 38, but I highly recommend going to level 55 minimum, and that's what I'm going to be going for my guide, just so you can like not fail on Master Farmers every single time. So as you can probably see, you have to travel such a far distance for this. Those are fruit stalls you were just at. That's the bank that you are running to over there. And right here is a Master Farmer. So I'm going to recommend spamming him all the way until 60 thieving. It's the ×3 experience rate, so yeah, it'll be a little bit rough, you'll fail a lot. But this should be able to get you enough seeds to at least get to 34 farming, which will be important for what I recommend next. Also, one other thing, you can start working on your farming passively. While you're just like thieving him, since it'll take a little bit of time, you can start prepping some super compost and doing a little bit of passive raking over here with those fruits that you just stole. And on top of that, if you're wondering where to buy buckets and raking that, right here is where you can get a pack. It's 500 gold for 100 buckets, which isn't too bad, but if you're a little bit short, you can also buy them here and bank them. It's just convenience to buy that, but you can also just buy like 2 inventories, because bank's right there. It's not too big a deal. Alright, so it's time to change directions and time to gear up. Get your wooden shield, clench a little bit, grab a strange fruit, some cakes, come running through Hasidius, through Shazian, through the gates all the way for all these lizardmen shaman, through some vicious bears, some trolls, and up to the Chamber of Xerix. And once you're up here, make sure you talk to this mountain guide over here. That way you can avoid ever having to run through all of those trolls and lizardmen and all that. Just talk to them, you'll unlock the travel after that, and it'll be amazing. So, once you're up here, you'll be starting to get ready for some wood cutting and firemaking. So grab your axe, grab your tinderbox, and I will show you what you're looking for. So this is the type of room that you'll be scouting for. You may sometimes find like scavengers over there in the first one and then a prep room, but you always want a prep room. And the reason why is you have these 2 trees right here. The saplings give kindling, and each cut in the main game gives 30 experience, but it'll give 90 experience at the ×3 rate. And every time you light this, I get 48 experience, but you'll be getting 3 times that, which is a 144 experience. And this is regardless of level, so you chop it at the same rate, and yeah, I mean, it's really nice for starting levels. This may get banned due to abuse, technically, even though it's in the main game, so I highly doubt they will, but this is going to be your best way to get up to level, well, it doesn't really matter for the woodcutting, you just want to get up to level 50 firemaking for Wintertodt. As far as the levels go for this guide, I'm going to assume that you get all the way up to 50 firemaking as I recommend, and you'll get to 40 woodcutting. You'll probably get to a little bit higher. You get pretty much 60% of the experience of the firemaking that you're getting, but I'm going to expect that you get to about 40 woodcutting for this guide. And if by chance it does get nerfed, then you're going to end up having to go over to, I guess, just stick in the Hasidius house area, and then just kind of cut trees. There's no like really good place, I guess, like cut trees over here or something. I'll just do your usual thing of normal logs, and then oak, and just work your way, probably stick on oak all the way up till 50 firemaking, and then I guess roughly 40 woodcutting. Next up, we're going to be working on a bit of mining and smithing. So you're going to be using your home teleport or the run into the trolls without praying anything and just magically go to your spawn, which should be the castle, and make your way over to the mine over here by Port Piscarilius. So you have copper, and you also have some tin rocks over here, and you need 43 bars in total with the ×3 experience rate to get to level 15 smithing. That involves smelting it and smithing it. So get 43 tin, 43 copper, and bank it up here whenever your inventory gets full. So now that you've finished up banking that 43 copper and tin, you're going to come over here and we're going to be doing a bit of a fishing detour. So grab your small fishing net and come over to these fishing spots. They're pretty much all along this coast here, and bank's right there. So go all the way up to 20 fishing so you can unlock trout. So you'll be heading over to the Woodcutting area from the Piscarilius bank. Just run all the way over here, and we'll be smelting those 43 tin and copper into bronze. So you could be using this furnace over here, and for like major amounts of smelting and crafting, it'll definitely be better because that's like the closest furnace to a bank. But as far as this goes, it's a pain to get over there, so you'll be just using this furnace for the small amount smelting. And you can't use this one that's specialized for Woodcutting stuff, those red bars. And then as far as smithing it goes, you have two options. You have this anvil here, which is a pain because you gotta go up 2 flights of stairs to bank, down, back again. It's just a pain. Or you can use this anvil here, and you can bank here, run all the way to here, and back and forth. Or you can use this bank. Anyway, smithing's just a pain, so you'll learn to just hate it as things go on. So once you're done with that, take all the bronze stuff you have and sell it, and I'll show you why you want all the cash. Okay, so you're gonna come up to this pickaxe shop up here. Just run from, yeah, all the way through here. And believe it or not, this shop does not require favor to access. This is the only pickaxe shop on Zeah, and it's where you'll be getting your runecrafting pickaxe. But ideally, you want to buy at least a steel pickaxe. If you can, buy the mithril pickaxe, but it's kind of expensive, so go at least with the steel. You should have the cash, hopefully, or try to sell some stuff to get the cash, because you're about ready to do a bunch of mining. If not, then, well, I guess make do with the bronze pickaxe. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, there's a ton of hostile mobs in the area, like king scorpions, like right up here, and then some giant bats down here that might rack you. Be careful, don't die. And if you're still alive at this point, let's continue. So you'll be here for a little bit. You'll be mining 98 iron bars, essentially, just mining and smelting them over there at that furnace and banking them. Keep looping that until you have 98, and then also mine material to make 1 steel bar. So 2 coal, 1 iron. And once you do that, you'll then go take your 98 iron bars, go smith them into whatever you want to, and then come over and smelt your 1 steel bar. So those 98 iron bars should be able to get you to 30 smithing, and then you'll also be about 35 mining at this point. You also want to sell like 1 junk item in case you need a little bit of cash, because you'll need a few gold coins for what comes up next. So we're going to be coming up northeast of the bank here for a few gold, and guess what? We're going to another bar. Yep, you know, drinking's great, and that's pretty much what this guy is based about. So you're going to trade the bartender, and guess what? Dwarven Stout. That is your +1 smithing boost, because what you're about ready to go make with that 1 steel bar is a steel axe for the amazing Wintertodt grind. Yep, so buy that, go run down to some anvil with your hammer, your steel bar, and let's get ready for the Wintertodt grind. So there's a couple things you need to do before you start the Wintertodt grind completely. First one, you're going to have to get your first of 2 warm items, and this is the most difficult. If you do not have Runelight, install it now. Just install it. don't care what your opinion is on third-party clients, because you're about ready to do a little bit of a taste of what is the worst grind for, mentally the worst grind of Zeah Ironman, and that's the library. So this is plugin on RuneLite. It basically takes like Woox's method of like eliminating where the books can be, and it will mark where the book was at. I kind of expect at some point Jadex might look at this and say it's OP and might ban the plugin, but that's my opinion on it. Hopefully they don't, because you have to do this to 77 runecrafting. Yep, so you found that, so it then marks that, and then it marks the potentials until you narrow it down. It's an amazing plugin, and it makes like the Woox method mindless. So you're going to be using this, and you're going to be going all the way till 20% favor. If you don't want to use this, then well, you're going to have to run all the way upstairs, hunt down this roaming piece of NPC that just doesn't stay still, and you're gonna have to ask her where the book is after you get favor, and you know, it's a mess. So do the easy thing and just download RuneLite, because you're gonna be doing this to 77 runecrafting so you can unlock blood runes. Yeah, also when you end up finding that book there, the teleport spell, make sure you read it, the transportation thing. So I'll be back, and they'll be assuming you have 20% Arceus favor. Okay, so now that you've gotten 20% Arceus favor, you're going to get your first warm item. Come down to the staff shop, just south of the library. And, well, this is going to take a giant chunk of cash, so you might want to sell some of that iron stuff you had. And it's 1500 gold, but it's well worth it. So buy the Staff of Fire, and then we shall get our second and last warm item for starting the Wintertodt grind. Okay, so quick thing before we get that last item, come down here and grab a spade. That way you can go dig it up. And you're also going to want to restock up on food if you need it for the long grind to 99 firemaking. I mean, it's 3 times faster, so not really long. And then the last thing you're going to want to do is come up north here. And this is going to cost a bit of cash. It's probably the remainder of whatever your cash stack is. You may have to sell a bit of that iron stuff you made. But you're going to need to buy a player-owned house so you can get construction experience from Wintertodt. So pour all of that in there, and next we're going to go get that last warm item. Alright, so now that you have your spade, come over to this area up here, and we're going to be grabbing the Clue Hunter garb. Just be careful, there's some bears around here, so they may try and maul you. And I'm not the best at remembering where this is at, so forgive me. There we are. So you got this, you got your Staff of Fire, and that is 2 warm items. You need 4 in total for full protection from Wintertodt, but that'll be the best you can do for now. Alright, so you've made it up to Wintertodt. I'm assuming you don't need to know how to get all the way up here, but I guess if you don't know, just north. Come up north. Don't go over here or here, you'll die. But come up here and grab yourself a knife, because why fletch? And I highly recommend fletching, because more points, you get some fletching experience over time. And if you really want to, you could go like cut some trees and fletch them for a bit of, well, starting fletching experience, I guess. But I'm gonna assume that you just start from 1. And yeah, go all the way to 99, knock that out, and I will be back once you've gotten it. So this is me coming back from the future part of this guide, remembering that there's a very important thing that I forgot to mention for Wintertodt. Make sure you keep limestone. You need some for a limestone altar for later on when you're doing Slayer and training your prayer in the player-owned house. So keep limestone. Remember that. And like, don't even cut it until you're like level 50 crafting, because there's a chance to break it. Just keep some in the bank, and if you don't get any going for 99 firemaking, you may have to extend it a little bit farther. Just also be aware that if you get to like 87 mining, there's a 0% chance to get any of it. So keeping your mining somewhat low does help increase the odds. So I'm not too worried about it. You should get some going 99 firemaking, but some people are really unlucky. Tedious. So here's yet another thing I came back and realized, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So by this point, you should probably consider working on getting the Livikin favor up to 100%. I cover all of the other houses in this guide, like Shrouded and Passively, but I forgot to talk about the Livikin favor. So the main reason we want to get this up to 100% is so you can go and get access to all of the minecarts around Zeah. Once you can unlock the basically pay 100k, it's a really nice thing, but I wouldn't do that until you have like 500k plus cash sitting in your inventory or bank, so hold off on that until you have a decent amount of cash, but it is worth unlocking pretty early on. And you're just going to be doing that for mining sulfur. There's kind of a glitch spot using a spider and all that you're probably going to want to use up here. That makes it the easiest without like dying to poisonous gas clouds in here the entire time. So congratulations on the first of 23 99s. Now I'm going to assume that you get to about 25 construction and 35 fletching from going to 99. It's going to be a little bit off, you might be a little bit higher just because of RNG, and I'm not exactly sure how the experience rates and all that work with the ×3, and if it'll be ×3, maybe it's ×5, who knows. So I'm just kind of lowballing it here. So once you got that, you have a ton of supplies, a ton of cash, and I'm just going to kind of go on the assumption that you won't use any of the supplies, just because I don't know what you get, because RNG is a thing. But you will be getting a ton of fish, I know that, and you should be able to cook that, plus the stuff that you fished earlier, on this bonfire here, and get up to 25 cooking, because you'll need that to make a stew for the next part. Alright, so now head down to Pistorius with 25 cooking. And you can buy a bowl from this general store over here, and also visiting this food shop you can buy the other 2 items you need. So you can buy a piece of raw beef and a potato, just use the sink, cook range, and get a cooked stew. So now you have all the stuff that you need to go do the Queen of Thieves, and you start it up here and go knock that out. Okay, so now that you've completed the quest, we're going to prepare for 99 fishing. Yes, exciting, I know. So, you're going to come over to Fishmonger here, and you're going to want to buy a fly fishing rod. I don't know where the Barbarian fishing rod is. They'll make an announcement on where it is. They've made it pretty clear that they're going to add it. So I'm just going to generically say go get a Barbarian fishing rod from whoever has it. Then you're going to need to buy feathers. So, assuming that you don't 3-tick fish, you're going to need approximately 50 to 60,000 feathers. That's just rough estimates, and based upon the ×3 experience rate, what I've been getting, I might be overestimating a lot, but you'll still use the feathers for fletching and that, so don't worry, they'll go to use. But 50 to 60,000 feathers is going to cost somewhere between like 130k and 180k on the high side. So that will pretty much take all of your cash stack from the 99 firemaking. Yep, sorry, but it's going to go to good use. So buy all those feathers, and you'll save some by 3-tick fishing. And I will show you where to get stuff for 3-ticking. You should have mahogany logs, which is what I recommend you use, and I'll show you what happens, like where you can get some if you don't have them, because you should have also 50 woodcutting, I'm assuming by now, after 99 firemaking. So here's the side note of where you can get some mahogany logs. These are the only 2 trees where you can get them. So it's just north of the farming guild, right up here. You should have plenty from getting to 99 firemaking, but just in case you didn't get really any and you burn through them too much, you can come up here and grab them. So that's just a side note of where you can get them, and now let's go off to where you're going to start preparing for fishing. So here's where you're going to be getting all the way up to 48 fishing. You're going to be coming down Hesidius here, and you're just going to be banking either here, and I recommend trying to store up some more food because you'll need it for combat. You're just going to be going 48 fishing, and the reason I also recommend fishing down here is because it's close to the farming patch. At this point, I'm going to assume that you can get up to about 20 farming just by this time during the fishing grind here. Alright, so now that you have 48 fishing, we're going to work on a bit of combat so you can start doing all that barbarian fishing. And yes, we're coming back to a bar yet again. So, just gonna do the thing, go all the way up to, I'd say go to 10 attack, 10 defense, and 15 strength. And that should be good for now. Alright, so back to raids yet again, and yep, it's the lovely running all the way from Hasidius. You know, all the way for Shazian. Take the mountain guide to try to save yourself a bit of pain here, but you're going to be spending a fair bit of time here, painfully fishing for hours. Yeah, ignore that. So, once you're all the way up to 99 fishing, should be about 73 strength and 73 agility, I'm going to assume, just assuming you're a bit on the unlucky side of barbarian fishing. And once you're done with that, I will be back, and hopefully it's not too terrible. Well, congratulations on your second of 2399s. That wasn't too bad, was it? Alright, so next up we're going to be heading off to go do a bit of thieving and prepare for one of the most useful items that you can get. Okay, so you can either choose between Furt Stalls and Master Farmers, whichever your heart desires, but you're going to be doing this all the way up to 64 thieving. I highly recommend you keep up with your farm runs, and I'm going to assume that you get up to about 30 farming once you finish 64 thieving, so I'll be back to show you what you're going to be doing next. So quick bit of detour, we're going to be going over to Land's End with Theos, and you're going to need to grab some bird snares. You can also grab some box traps, and you shouldn't need the butterfly net, but yeah, we're going to be grabbing some of these just so you can do hunter. So, yep, come up to this one. This one's the box trap, so you can grab them here. I don't know if they'll have unlocked the Eagle's Peak quest, so you can do that, but if they have, definitely grab that. And then we have the bird snares that I can never seem to remember where they're at. Okay, they should be over here. So, we got the bird snares over here, and just grab 5, 6 of them. And this will be for a little bit later. You can do a drop trick and then just pick them up. So that's how you'll get those, and those will be for a little bit later. So welcome to the Lizardman home, which is all the way up here in Mulk, or however you say it. And you'll just have to come up from Land's End. You just come up here for Shazian and take the boat, and you have an option to come over here, and you'll run into this element. Watch out, as they will attack you, of course. So you just need to take one of these, several, just whatever they are, the lizardman dwellings. Just jump down one of these, and it will take you all the way to this little area. So this is where you'll see the single combat lizardman shaman areas, and you won't be dealing with those now, but the main thing you're going to be looking at is picklocking these stone chests. From these you can get essentially bolt tips, you can get lizardman fangs, and you can also get some herb seeds and miscellaneous seeds, some fabric, coins, a lot of good stuff. But the big thing you're after is a Surgix Talisman. So you're going to want one of those for teleporting around, and I highly recommend you get the Talisman, and then I'd say get about 100 teleports on it. So pretty much a second Talisman, break it down, or 50 fangs, just get something, get a decent amount of teleports, because they'll definitely help you for traveling around. You don't want to get too many things, just because this fabric is going to be useful later on, because this is a great source of passive crafting experience. And as you can see, you get teleported out occasionally. It'll happen a lot more as a lower level, but just be aware. Maybe bring a few strange fruit to keep yourself from being poisoned. But you're going to be doing this all the way until you get a talisman, so you can teleport around. And I'm going to assume that you get to about 66 thieving from that. Actually, 65 thieving from that. As far as banking goes, just drop the fabric so you can kind of save some inventory spots, and most of the bolt tips you'll get plenty later on. But because you have the agility shortcut, you can use these and come up here. You don't have the farming guild yet, so that's kind of a pain, but you shouldn't have to restock more than once or twice unless you are absurdly unlucky. So, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, and you should have that pretty quickly. So, welcome to the most absurd spot that no one ever comes to. Yeah, I bet you've never seen this area before. So, you come pretty much just through here, across the bridge, come around here, and go for this mine area down here, and you're here. So this is a hunter training spot, and this is where you will begin the journey with Hunter. There are Crimson Swifts here. Yeah, they added this with the Kebos Lowlands, and originally used to have to kind of abuse raids to start off Hunter or Lampid. But yeah, they added these, it's amazing. It shouldn't take too long, but you just need to go up to 9 Hunter so you can catch Coppertails. And then we'll move down the Land's End. So welcome to the second Hunter spot, and this is where you'll be catching Copper Longtails. And you'll be going from 9 to level 53, which is kind of a stretch, but not too bad with Twisted Leagues, I guess. I recommend grabbing an axe and just cutting trees and fletching. You should be able to get like 55 woodcutting and probably like 45 fletching while you're over here, getting to 53. So once you get this, it's going to be kind of a curveball, so you'll maybe get the chance to catch Chinchompas. I'm pretty confident that they'll actually unlock them, so I'm going to make the assumption that they will unlock them for you, and they can use box traps to get them. So I'm going to go on from level 53 to 99 on how you're going to do that. If not, then, well, you're stuck with Copper Longtails all the way to 99, which is kind of rough. But I'm pretty confident you'll get Chinchompas. Okay, so this is a spot where you're going to be going from 53 to 99 Hunter, as I have planned. So you have Copper Longtails, you come up here, and this is Chinchompas. So this one spot in particular is what I really like. For 3 traps, you're just going to be focusing around this tile right here. And the reason why is it's actually a spawn point. So I marked the Chinchompa that actually has it, and you'll just be kind of setting up. So about 4 traps set up here, and then 5 just pick and chase a corner. So let me show you right here that this is the spawn point, and you can, well, use tick manipulation to set up these traps. So the through ticking is really nice. And then, well, right there. So he spawns around this point, and it's about 3.5 second spawn, as you can see right there. And yeah, it's up to about 110k an hour with tick manipulation and attacking it at some of the higher levels. So that's like, I believe, level 93, I was getting about that rate. And 95 is the no-fail rate for Great Chinchompas, which is really nice. So, you'll be doing this from 53 to 99, and I will be back in a second when I know how many Chinchompas that is. Okay, so ignore that derp that I just had, but it is about 21,670 Chinchompas from 53 to 99, so it's plenty of those. And once you get 99, you have a chance for Lucky Imps and Dragon Implings, Ninja Implings, all that, which have a ton of stuff. So if you see those just randomly wandering, you can get really good stuff early on, and also all of those chins will help you get to 99 range while you're doing the Slayer grind, or even just 99 range in general. So, welcome to the Salt Fields. This is what's up next. You're going to be just collecting enough to go from 15 to 45, and you're just going to be wanting to unlock the mess hall. So just deposit it, then eventually make the fertilizer. And you can use this agility shortcut because you're 73 agility. In fact, you can use practically every agility shortcut in Zeah, minus the one in Forflow's dungeon right now. So, yep, you got the garden shop to get your compost over here. You can make a thing, and then I believe you just turn it in here to the clerk. So, gets 45 favor, and then unlock the mess hall. So, welcome to the mess hall, which is just south of the castle. You're going to be here for a little while, not too long though. You're going to start off because of 25 cooking with stews. You can skip the pies, which start at 20. And then once you hit 65, you're going to move over to pineapple pizzas. This will get you a 100% favor doing this because you're going to be going to 99. Yes, you're going from 25 to 99 here, but really it's not that bad. So once you hit the pineapple pizzas, like the normal like max efficient rate, you can go about 200k an hour if you're like tick perfect and all that, but that's times 3 in Twisted League, so that's 600k an hour once you hit 65. So I mean, realistically, me being lazy, I hit like 145k in the main game, but that means you can easily hit like 450k here, so get to it, and shouldn't take too long to hit 99 cooking. So you should have knocked out really 2 quick and easy skills to 99, and let's keep that momentum going by getting over a hurdle. We're coming back to the library, and like I said earlier, you're going to really want that plug-in because we're going to be going all the way to 77 here. Gonna keep that momentum going and get like one of the most annoying things done here. So normally this would take about 60 hours in the main Zeah Ironman mode on the main game, but as far as this goes, because of the endless run and the ×3 experience rate, it'll only take 15 to 20 hours. However, this could be influenced by relics. I think this is one that has a strong potential that they may do something to like either speed this up or skip it, or not 100% certain, but I'd be wary about this one. But it's only a 15 and 20 hour grind, so yeah, it's terrible, but this one can be easily done. So now that you've stressed yourself by doing a bit of runecrafting and shaved a few years of your life off, we're going to come do a nice relaxing flax picking here down in Land's End. So this is probably one of the most efficient places to pick flax if you ever care to do that, because you have flax here, and you also have a deposit bank over there. And I guess if you want to AFK, there's also some shark spots, a bunch of fishing spots down here, and with the deposit box or bank if you really just want to use a bank right there. So you're going to want to collect enough flax that you can get to 38 crafting, and as far as the spinning wheel goes, you can find it right here in Sherlock's house. So this is the closest bank, which it used to be a lot closer pre-Hesius workup, but with the rework they ended up making actually kind of further. So you just have to do this to 38, and then after that we will get the last skill you need to go start runecrafting blood runes. So we're coming back over to the Lufka area, and we're just going to mine some iron. You can smelt it if you want, but you just want to get to 38 mining. You should be about 35 right now, so not too far off, and then you finally can go do blood rune. So welcome to where you're going to be spending plenty of time. So what you're going to need is a chisel and a pickaxe, and you're just going to be running from Dense Essence Mines all the way to the Dark Altar, back to the Essence Mines, back to Dark Altar, and then to Blood Altar, all the way through here, and then using this shortcut to come back, or you're going to be going to Soul Altar after 90 runecrafting, and then running back using these shortcuts to return. So you should have the agility level right now, which is 73, to go for all the shortcuts here. And as far as the levels go, by the end of it, you should have, well, 99 runecrafting, and you should have roughly 73, 74 crafting, depending on when you start crafting soul runes, if you do it at 90 or go a little bit higher. And you should also have roughly about 79 mining by the end of this. So I'm going to put it down that, for the guide purposes, that you're about 73 crafting and about 79 mining by the end of it. As far as the runes go, I'm not 100% certain, but I'd say you'd have about 100,000 blood runes by the end of this with the ×3 experience rates, and then you'll have about 100,000 soul runes by the end of it. It could change a little bit depending on relics, but that's what I'm going to go with, so you'll pretty much be set for the rest of the Twisted League. So since I want to continue to be evil, well, here we are. We're going to Tithe now, so we can go knock out 99 farming. So you should be 34 by this point. If you're not, well, you should probably go get 34 farming, and then you're going to hit up Tithe until 99. So the first thing you're going to want to buy while you're doing this is the gardening can, just for convenience of it. And then next off, you're just going to want to get the farming set, finally the seed box, the auto weeder is up to you, and then just kind of spend it on grape seeds. You can save a few points for later on when you try to go for a Sammy item, if you happen to want to do that. And then you can unlock the Sammy blessings, turn the grapes into Sammy grapes, and be able to make Sammy wines with it, but that's kind of up to you. So, you'll be doing this all the way till 99, and it's not that bad. Once you hit the top tier at like 74, you'll be getting, well, it's like 100k an hour, but then it's also times 3, so it's 300k an hour at that point. So it's not that bad. You just gotta kind of go through it. Do it in multiple sittings. Okay, so I should probably elaborate a little bit why you should do Tithe now. As far as it goes, you're gonna want to knock Tithe out just for the fact that you could keep up with passive farm runs. If you're really good about it, go ahead, do it. You definitely want at least 45 so you can access the farming guild and be able to do that. But I'm going to consider it one of these things of knock out Tithe farming and you just finish the skill out. You can though go and do like whatever herbs you need to do. You can pretty much run between here because you have main game teleport, just run up here and then just pick some herbs and start banking some herb experience because you'll need it later on. But my thing is, I'm really bad at farm runs, I forget about them, and your 2 patches are here, which has a teleport here, and your closest teleport is on the RCS spellbook over here. And the laws are kind of a rarity and a pain to get, so unless they add something special like ability to use the fairy ring, or you happen to get the elite blessing, it's still like a pain to get to the farming guild, especially without the skill cape. So unless they change something on that relic, I recommend just knocking it out because the farm runs are more irritating than anything. I was about ready to say welcome to the farming guild, but I just realized for the guide you're probably only about like 55 woodcutting, so not quite there yet. So you're going to be right outside the promised land of the Woodcutting Guild and working on the oaks, willows as you care to, and working on fletching with your trusty knife. So you're going to be going for 69 fletching, not because it's a good number, but because you're going to want to unlock the rune crossbow. And once you hit 60 woodcutting, just kind of move in here, buy yourself a better axe from wherever the dude is. Yep, Perry over there. And also work on these willows. These are probably better than the maples for speed wise, so just keep wood cutting. I'm gonna guess you're gonna get to about 65 wood cutting, give or take. Not a huge deal if you're a bit lower, because it's not gonna be used for that much, except, well, maxing eventually. But you're gonna be going to 69 fletching. That is the goal for this, so you can unlock the rune crossbow. So welcome to the longest part of the maxing grind, Slayer. This may be a little bit subject to change, it may be a little bit faster, but on the main game for Zeah, mostly Ironman, it's approximately 2,000 hour grind from 30 to 99. It is no small feat. So as far as this goes, there are a lot of major changes affecting Slayer and Twisted Leagues. The main ones I want to note are 1. Everything will be on Zeah, and that means they also unlock monsters on Zeah you normally wouldn't be able to kill. The ideal tasks you want to look at are going to be in the catacombs. There are a ton of things that you can either safe spot or kill multiple of them at a time, chinning them. So first off, your top 3 tasks you want to get are Necrials, Dust Devils, and Jellies. All 3 of these are amazing tasks because you can kite the jellies around a corner down here or right here. You can, of course, with the Dust Devils, very common spot, just kiting them around here and stacking them. And then the Necrials, you can just stack them right there. As far as the Necrials, those death spawns do a bit of damage, so you're going to want like some tank armor, so instead of wearing like a Tithe body, wear a rune chain and wear like a rune kite. That should help a bit with the damage, but you are going to have to bank a few times between tasks. But as far as experience goes, this is like really good experience, so don't worry too much about it. Just bring a bit of food, bit of prayer. There are also a ton of safe spots, and there's only going to be like one really complicated one I'm going to show. I'm just going to mention briefly where some of these are. So for Greater Demons, there's a safe spot right here that you can use. For Black Demons, there's a safe spot here, and there's also a safe spot here. You have to de-aggro Lesser Demons, so just be aware they can mess with you if you're right here. As far as the Monster Giants, you can actually safe spot them right here on one side of the corridor. You can safe spot Blood Builds in multiple spots like up here. You can safe spot the Banshees down here by standing right in this little corridor here. And that pretty much covers it. There is a complicated one with the Hellhounds standing like right along this wall. It's pretty difficult setup. You have to have like 3 of them like aggroed on you, and then you have to wait out the timer. But you can like attack one of them. It's really complicated. I just recommend meleeing them and praying melee. So that's as far as the Hellhounds go. And then for Fire Giants, I will show this one. It's really easy to set up, and most people don't pay attention to it. They just take aggro and then pray melee, use prayer pots, but it's a really easy aggro to set up, and I'll show you how to do that one. Some other major changes that come to mind for the Slayer grind is you can buy a Dragonfire shield, and that's actually going to be a big thing. Have anti-fire protection from dragons, which you can't get as a Zeah Ironman in the main game. So whenever you finally get one that dragon task, make sure you buy that. Next up, as far as the points go, there's kind of a priority list that I would recommend. First off, the Broadbolt Fletching, get that first. Those are powerful and cheap bolts, and they will pretty much be used the rest of your time playing Twisted Leagues. Next up, you're going to want to come over here and buy an herb sack. It's a lot of points, but that'll store a ton of passive herb experience. And you also want to collect those Martins for the prayer experience that you'll need later on. Next, you're going to want to unlock the Bigger and Badder, get a little bit extra Slayer experience. It doesn't take too many tasks to get that. And then you're going to want to get the Lizardman. And if you can get that Dragon Warhammer passively before you hit 99, then me and my 2 Curved Bones and Dragon Spear will be jealous and hate you forever. So, once you have all of that, you come back and you will be able to buy the Rune Pouch, which will be used pretty much for raids. It's also kind of convenient, save a few extra spots. And then after that, just skip task, and you might be able to block task. I'm not 100% certain if they'll actually allow you to do that on the Zeah Ironman. But you're going to want to put the rest of your points into like making your tasks more efficient, and go towards those tasks here in the catacombs, like the Jellies, Dust Devils, and Necrils, instead of stuff like Shades, Hankus, that sort of thing. So next I want to talk about some of the major items that you should either go out of your way to get, or you will be getting during your grind for 99 Slayer. First off is the Rune Crossbow. So you're going to be safe spotting some of the more powerful monsters, such as like Monster Giants. You can't go toe-to-toe with melee-wise in the beginning. You're going to have to safe spot them. I highly recommend that you use Mage for this. The reason why is once you hit 62 magic, you can start using those Blood Runes, and those are actually really good to like take down Iron or Steel Dragons really quickly. The Iron Dragons drop the Runecrafting crossbow limbs at a rate of 1 in 26. The Steel Dragons are a bit more common, but they're harder to hit. Iron Dragons, less common, easier to hit, so kind of figure out which one's better for you. Once you have those, make your crossbow, and then I highly recommend using range for safe spotting all the way up until you can use Runecrafting crossbow, and then also broad bolts. So next upgrades I want to talk about are the Black Dragon Hide upgrades. So if you did do the 99 runecrafting, you should have 73 or 74 crafting, which means you can do a full set of Blue Dragon Hide bodies, all that full set. If you did get 73 crafting, if you got 74, you can actually also make the Red Dragon Hide Fan Braces if you want to. But don't worry, if you decide to punt on that, you can get a bunch of stuff from Slayer monsters as you progress. So big ones that come to mind are you can get a bunch of Dragon Hide from the Brutal Black, Red, and Blue Dragons as you just kill them on Slayer task. So they can all drop their bodies and the Fan Braces, and that's probably where you're going to be getting your black dragon hide bodies from brutal black dragons. Before that, you also have the Dust Devils, which can drop red and black dragon hide fan braces. That'll probably be where you get your black dragon hide braces from. And you also have stuff here at the Carlin Slayer dungeon. So the worms can drop the red dragon hide chaps. Hydras can drop the black dragon hide chaps. That is kind of a stretch, but unless you get the crafting level, you're probably not going to get black dragon hide chaps before you get to 95 Slayer, which is kind of weird, but yeah, crafting is a pain train on Zeah. You also have Drakes which drop red dragon hide bodies, but I'm pretty confident since you'll be able to dragons, the brutal dragons, that you'll get a better, if not the red dragon hide body before Drakes. That pretty much covers all of the dragon hide stuff you can get from monsters here. You can also tan and craft your own using the tanner in the Fortress dungeon. It's kind of a maze to go through. You can look up some other guides and things if you want to figure out how to do it, but there's a tanner here, and you can use him to like make a dragon hide shield or something, which gives a little bit of extra range accuracy, but it's not a bad thing to have. Okay, next up, I don't have one displayed here, but let's pretend this is, so I've remembered about it. You'll probably be getting a dragon sword and harpoon from worms. It's a 1 in 2,000 chance on Slayer task. I've killed, going up to 90 Slayer on my main Zeah Ironman, almost 10,000 of them. Pretty good odds you're going to get one, and if they boost rates for these items, you'll probably get one, so expect to get a dragon sword, and that'll be a great upgrade over a rune scimitar that you'll probably get from fire giants. After that, you're going to be going for rune boots. You'll probably get this passively while chinning nechryaels, so don't worry about that. You'll probably get like one per task, so you'll get extra of these, and that +2 strength bonus is nice to have. Following that, you have drakes, and this is kind of another placeholder to remind me, but brimstone boots are going to be great for whenever you're ranging something, and they can even be used for raids. It's a tri-braid boot essentially. It's offensive, mage, melee, and range. And unless you get rangers or potentially d'hide boots from the hard clues, if you do hard clues for any reason, those brimstone boots will be your best in slot. Then next up, you do have at 85 Slayer the iconic whip. You could maybe find an electric impling, get lucky, find a Slayer pie, then go off, get on your first kill a whip, but I wouldn't expect that to happen. So as far as the kills an hour with a dragon sword, I was getting about 50 kills an hour at abyssal demons. It's not great. I wasn't doing any of the defensive prayers, so maybe if you prayer flick you might get a little bit better, but at the current rate that's like 10 hours for a whip, so I would just kind of passively hunt that, but it's also very nice to have a whip, so you might want to just actively camp for it, especially if the rate gets boosted. Next up is Hydra at 95 Slayer. There's 3 things. You have the Ferocious Gloves, which may or may not be unlocked. They may give them to you. They haven't said that they're giving Dragon Slayer 2, so I wouldn't hold your breath on these, so I'm just going to cut these as like an optional, like potential, maybe you might get them. The Brimstone Ring is your best in slot ring. There's no other ring on Zeah that actually gives any stat boost, so this is a great upgrade to have, that strength, the accuracy, mage, all of it. And then, well, this is also a placeholder because I don't have the lance on this account right now, but the Dragon Hunter Lance. They have made mention that they will not require you to get a Zami Spear, it will drop as a lance. You will be using that for raids. It's, I mean, some of the highest DPS you can potentially get, like, even in the main game. So, Dragon Hunter Lance will definitely be a must for raids, and you can even use that as, like, main hand and replace it for a whip because of Crush, so that's nice. And passively, this is kind of just a hopeful thing. You might be able to get a Dragon Warhammer, especially if they increase the rates of the drop items. If not, you're going to want to hunt for the Dragon Warhammer immediately after. I don't really know if I need to mention, like, hey, here in this guide, here's how you kill shamans, here's how you do it. Just go pick a location, you'll figure it out. It's not hard to kill shamans, it's just a repetitive grind. So I will list that as a thing. Get the Dragon Warhammer right after 99 Slayer. Yeah, it's one of those things you're going to want to just knock out, and then you'll be essentially like rage ready once you complete 99 Slayer. So as far as the stats go for finishing off 99 Slayer, you should have 99 HP. That's pretty much a given by that point. As far as prayer goes, based upon where I'm going to end up on my main Zeah Ironman, I should say you'll end up with 90 prayer. If you bank all bones that are worm or higher, so worm, dragon, drake, hydra, and then use them on the player-owned house altar, and then also if you use all of the heads that are giant and higher, you will end up with 90 prayer, I'd say, somewhere around there. As far as the other combat stats, you should be able to get those to 99 or close to. I'm gonna just put for the guide that you're gonna end up with 94 attack, strength, defense. If you don't have 99 range by the end of this, I highly recommend you take some of those gens that you got from 99 Hunter and just use them on Dust Devils, Necreals, or Jellies. Finish out 99 range. That should be pretty quick, especially with boosted experience rates and all that, and you'll definitely have enough unless you die with a bunch of them. So you should be able to get 99 range immediately after it if you don't have it after 99 Slayer. And then Mage, don't worry about it too much. You'll be using Mage for raids, so I'll put that you'll have like 85 Mage by the end of this guide, or this Slayer chunk. So you'll get a ton of Mage experience from that, and then you also have a ton of Blood Runes, so you can just kind of go AFK at like Sand Crabs, which there's a ton of them over here. You have the Crabclaw Island, and then also with the Depths of Despair, you have these spots right here that you can use. One other thing I almost forgot about for the Twisted League, you do get Brimstone Keys for your Slayer task. So you can open Brimstone Chest, and based upon the numbers I've seen in main game with my Zeah Ironman, and based upon the experience rates sped up, you should get about 250 to 300 chest rolls from this. That's pretty solid chances at the Dragon Hosta, which if you get that early and they do make it into the fixed version for Twisted Leagues, that'll be a huge upgrade over the Rune Scimitar, but I wouldn't bank on that. That is RNG and also requires that they actually fix it. There's Dust Mystic, but once you hit Alchemical Hydra, you do get Dust Mystic pieces, plus you can get some Mystic from miscellaneous stuff, so you'll have Mystic in the end, either Alchemical Hydra or some other Slayer monsters like Abbey Specs if you end up killing them, that sort of thing. And then finally, you get a ton of skilling supplies, so I'd say after 99 Slayer, confidently you'd have 80 crafting banked from the 73-74 that you got originally with 99 runecrafting, and you should be able to have 75 smithing confidently banked too. And those are just a couple things that come to mind. There's also a few other like fletching food supplies and that, and that'll pretty much fund most of the food that you need for going to 99 Slayer 2 as you cook it. So as far as the safe spots go for Fire Giants, I did want to show this because it's kind of creative. You do have this spot right here, which I guess if you're fine with just killing one and it's really slow, it's fine. The only issue is you might have some sort of hero running by and then this Fire Giant comes off the ledge here and then gets you killed because you go make a sandwich, which you didn't really even get to enjoy, so yeah, be careful, you might get killed by someone running by here. But on the other hand, there is this spot which I ended up figuring out after so much creativity. I don't even know how I figured this one out, I was just really bored. But what you can do here is you can push this Fire Giant into this spot, and then you have this one standing here. Just step here. This fire giant's aggroed on you. He's locked in. This one can't attack you. So as long as you don't have someone attack this fire giant, you can just wait out the aggro timer. So I just wanted to show that off. It's a really nice safe spot, and as long as someone doesn't mess with it, well, you can kill like 5 or 6 giants and keep them all safe spotted here. But as long as someone doesn't run by and mess with it, like that spot over there, you're good to go. And once the aggro timer's done, you can have like 5 or 6 spawns you can kill easily. So welcome back to the Woodcutting Guild, and well, as you can probably guess, you're going to 99 woodcutting. So you're about level 65 woodcutting right now. Just kind of work your way on willows, maples, make a ton of arrow shafts because you're going to be fletching broad arrows for 99 fletching. You get the arrows from the fishing shop over in Piscrolius, and just pretty much stock up a bunch of arrow shafts. You don't really need to use like the U ones for that. You can just kind of bank those or do whatever with them. You can use the redwoods definitely for arrow shafts. You'll get a ton of them from there, and I'm pretty confident you can bank 99 worth of fletching from those. And if you're wondering in this guide where you get all the money to buy those broad arrows from, you get a ton of money from Slayer. You get so many alcohols and the cash from Brimstone Keys. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine for the rest of your skilling and time in Twisted Leagues from all of that cash you get from Slayer. I hope that the woodcutting and fletching was a bit relaxing, because sadly, this is not. This is going to be one of those last very gnarly painful things to do. So you're going to be coming and doing 99 agility. Yes, 99 agility here in Wintertodt. So this is the best way to train your agility. You'll want to come to most populated world so you can get the most downtime on Wintertodt. So you can jump over like the one spot instead of like having to jump back and forth. You can just camp like one spot. Yeah, thanks to that whole nerf thing they decided for leeches, which was annoying. So you'll just want to be able to get like when you got downtime, jump over the one spot, and when you're like in the active time like this, you can jump back and forth and use the 3. As far as experience rates go in the main game, it's about 26k an hour. Here it's times 3, so it should be a little bit better, but it's still a pretty long grind. You'll use a decent amount of food, but you'll have warm items in that. They may also add relics that kind of make this a little bit easier. Hopefully they do, because it's pretty terrible. As you can see, it almost killed me right there. Not because I'm completely underdressed for it, but yeah, so hopefully there's a relic to kind of improve this. Maybe they'll add an agility course or something, but really agility hasn't been that useful, and you've had all the shortcuts you've needed from Barbarian fishing. But it's time to go knock out 99 and get that out of the way, so the rest of the stuff is downhill from here. Okay, if you haven't died of boredom, we're on to thieving, which, if you need a break, thieving is also a very great skill, because like 80 plus, you can get rates of pretty much 360k an hour. I'm not 100% certain on this, but having a pick lock in your inventory might help. I could just be like tinfoil hatting this, and it could be a conspiracy, but a couple other people have also agreed with me. Lockpick helps, so you might want to try to grab one of those off Young Gimplings. There's a few spawns around Zeah, but it's best if you try to passively get that. So yeah, lockpick might be useful here. As far as other stuff, life pro tip, bring a needle and thread, because you're going to get a ton of fabric that you don't want to use, and well, you don't want to keep it, so you're just going to craft it into like robes and that, drop the robes, and just keep on thieving. You'll get a ton of passive crafting experience, plus you get a ton of uncut sapphires and rubies. You'll want to bank those, so you just come up here, go to the farming guild, and you can also get like your herb runs here. So highly recommend, like, you can do this thieving grind like a bit earlier, but you definitely want to be able to craft the Cerix fabric. Definitely, like, you get a ton of passive crafting experience, and you need all of that you can get, because it's one of the worst skills to train on Zeah. The other thing is you get some bolt tips and seeds, So if you have the seed box because of Slayer, definitely keep like the Ranars and some of the Snapdragons you'll get from here. And also for bolts, I recommend you keep the bolt tips that are like Onyx, Dragonstone, Diamond, Ruby. That's pretty much all you'll need to keep. As far as levels, we'll 99 thieving, and you'll probably get about 83 using all the gems that you get, plus the fabric you get here from 65 thieving to 99. You'll end up with about 83 crafting. So you're nearing the home stretch. This is the last of the terrible trio skills that you need to knock out for maxing. There's two options for knocking out mining. You can do blast mining, which you can buy some dynamite over here. I'm pretty sure it is absolutely terrible price-wise. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. But you can also claim some free stuff if you've done any of the diaries at this point. It's only like 80 for elite, so it's not too much. You get a ton from raids. It's not too bad, but the ore is kind of hit or miss. It's nice to have the ore banked, but it's also kind of not the most amazing. It's about 65k an hour once you get into like the 90s, so that knocks up to about 180k an hour towards those higher levels. Yeah, not the most amazing. So you can also do iron, just power mine it, and you'll be able to get like essentially up to the same rate. I kind of would prefer the power mining iron. I think it's a bit more brainless and that sort of thing. Plus you don't have to burn a bunch of cash on dynamite or have to like go get from raids, but you can do either. So 99 mining, get that knocked out. You can kind of do this like passively too, because you'll need to go off and do raids for collecting a bunch of the other skilling supplies. So this next grind is also kind of a bit rough, and I recommend kind of mixing this up with some of the other ones. This is going to be for finishing off 99 prayer. The reason why I recommend killing red dragons here in the Forest Dungeon is because you can combine it with a bit of crafting. As far as it goes, you get about, in the main game, about 7k an hour crafting experience, and you also get about 21 to 25k an hour prayer experience. So times that by 3, it's going to be a decent amount. It's going to be probably about 100 hours here, unless you have some other relics that help boost it. And this is pretty much the most efficient. I recommend kind of combining this with mage, so you can also knock out a bunch of mage. In fact, this will probably get you up to 99 mage, if not. I'd say at least 95 plus. You'll finish up 99 with raids for sure, so 95, 99, somewhere in there for mage. And this will get you somewhere around, I'd say, 90 crafting by the end of this. So you'll get 99 prayer here, 90 crafting, and somewhere between 95 and 99 mage here. So, welcome to the end game. You've spent all of that time preparing, skilling, getting ready for this point, the downhill final battle of maxing. So you have 5 skills left if you follow this guide from point A to the current point, and you just have magic, which you'll get for raids, and then you have smithing, herblore, crafting, and construction. So you'll get planks from raid drops, herbs for herblore, and then you'll get gold, silver, gems, a ton of different ores for that smithing and crafting. So, you know how to make potions, I really don't have to explain that. Well, construction, you just have to basically, I recommend doing something similar with the smithing. You'll just be going between a very close bank, so raid spank, once you have that teleport unlocked, and then just teleporting back to your player-owned house, or using the Wintertodt bank, whichever you enjoy the most, and just kind of go back and forth building stuff. And well, 99 construction's not that hard to explain. And then smithing, you're going to do something similar, teleporting between a bank, and I've kind of done the math, and these are both like the same amount of time. So you either teleport to the heart teleport here, and then go to the anvil, teleport back to like raid spank, and then teleport back, and just keep doing that until you have 99 smithing. If you need to smelt any ores, do it up here at this furnace. because this is the closest furnace to the bank. That's all I have to say really for the skills. The rest is really up to your RNG with raids, how well you can get groups, and how efficiently you can do it. So good luck, and I just have a few other tips and miscellaneous stuff to mention for this guide, but that's all the skills from 1 to 99. So I can't believe I forgot to mention this guy earlier in the guide. So Frankie right here, over in Piscurlius, with 20% favor, you can unlock his shop. So all you need to do is complete client Kourend, put the favor into it, and congratulations, you have access to this exceptionally cheap shop for food. You do need Woodcutting levels, of course, but I mean, you can't beat these prices. Like, it's almost like it's one of those commercials like Flex Seal, buy one, get 4 bottles free, and I mean, just easily fixes all of your problems, at least food-wise. So these last few things are just kind of stuff that I'd like to make mention of. It's like, kind of like Zeah Comp, sort of. It's not officially in Twisted Leagues, but if you want to go hunt after some of the best in slots, here's what you can go do. First off is the Fury and Regen Bracelet. While the Combat Bracelet and Glory are great, you can get Onyxes on Zeah. You have the 1 in 1,000 chance from Skatizo. That's not going to happen. I wouldn't hold your breath on it. And you also have Tecton. So for regular modes Tecton, you can get an Onyx. It's a 1 in 450 chance. The challenge modes one, even if it's slightly nerfed defense after the last round of raids updates, is still pretty rough. So you're going to want to use the regular mode Tecton and just Dragon Warhammer and use either like the Dragon Hunter Lance or the Cudgel from Sracnus if you want to go Camp Sracnus. The reason why you may go kill Sracnus is for elite clues. So if you want to go do a bunch of master clues, the best way to get elites is actually from Sracnus on Zeah. That's roughly like a 1 in 50 or 1 in 60 chance for elites. It's a really high drop rate for a really easy boss to kill, so that's where you're going to be getting elites for masters if you want to camp that efficiently. As far as other miscellaneous best in slots and comp stuff, Dust Devils actually give the best in slot melee top. So you can get Dragon Chain Body with the 1 in 32,000 chance from Dust Devils. Wouldn't hold your breath on it, but that would be really cool because I'm sure one person will get it in the whole Twisted Leagues, maybe 2. I'm still trying to pursue it. You can also get Dust Battle Staff from Dust Devils too. It's a 1 in 4k chance. That one's a bit more realistic, and it kind of helps out with teleporting to house if you happen to get it. The other thing is, you do have the chance for Smoldering Stones. This is another one of those that's probably not going to happen, but it's cool. You can get Smoldering Stones from Hellhounds. It's a 1 in 32,000 chance too, and you can use that for your Dragon Harpoon, or you can use it for the Dragon Woodcutting Axe, if you happen to get it from Wintertodt. From Wintertodt, it is a 1 in 10,000 chance, as many of you probably know. And then, also, there is the Abyssal Demons for the other part of the comp. If you do want to get an Abyssal Dagger, it's a 1 in 32,000 chance. I wouldn't hold your breath on that one either, but it'd also be pretty cool. It's actually pretty good against Foss's Crystals, so it does have a use, but Dragon Hunter Lance should suffice for that if you do happen to do Fossa. So I hope you enjoyed this guide, and I know it's probably not like the absolute 100% like no EHP loss for the Twisted Leagues, but I think this gives you a pretty good idea of like how you should go about in Twisted Leagues for maxing. The one really unknown as of the moment of me making this guide is what the other 15 plus relics are that are going to be for the Twisted Leagues. So once those come out, I can kind of make another like supplemental video and sort of adjust like, hey, go do this, go do that. You might want to change this, you might be able to skip over that. So we'll have to see, but this is a pretty good like structure of how you should go about maxing, and you can change stuff up. You don't have to go and do Hunter immediately. You can go like do runecrafting first and then do Hunter. You get the point. So hope you enjoyed the rather long guide, and hopefully the rambling that I did wasn't too bad. And, well, I look forward to seeing Twisted Leagues. I won't be able to play it as much as I'd like, but I think I'm going to go for at least a decent goal of trying to get that recolor for Ancestral, because, I mean, it does look really nice. So, hope you enjoyed that video. Leave a like, subscribe, or dislike it. I don't know. Maybe you just don't like it. I'm just going to log out. Hope you enjoyed the guide.